Hello everybody, it's Lauren. Welcome back to my channel for the love of. If you're clicking on my video for the first time, I want to say welcome. Thanks for taking the time to click on this Bath & Body Works candles review. Returning viewer or subscriber, as always, welcome on back. This is going to be a quick mini review of two of Bath & Body Works' newest candles that came out. The scents aren't new, the collection is. I didn't even think I'd get as much feedback as I did on Instagram with these two. Summer Boardwalk and Berry Waffle Cone. These are like two summer staples of mine, and they come out, you know, every year. Summer Boardwalk's been out a little bit longer. Berry Waffle Cone's been out the past probably 4 years now. So I expected most everybody knew what they smelled like, so I wasn't planning on doing a review, but I've since burned both versions, this year's version. So I figured I'd hop on here and give you a quick review, a quick overview of this year's versions. Spoiler, they both are performing fantastic, but if you stay watching a little bit longer, I'll break down both of these candles. If you want to skip to just one of the candles, Summer Boardwalk or Berry Waffle Cone, check the description of my video. I will have it timestamped. Without further ado, let's get into the reviews. Side note, before I dive into these reviews, I do want to mention, I don't know offhand the name of this collection, but I did get these candles on a buy two, get two free. I did exchange out a couple other candles I had to take back as is. So I wound up leaving with 3 Berry Waffle Cones and 3 Summer Boardwalks. I'll throw a picture up on the screen here if I have it. My local store was fantastic. They actually held these for me. I wound up getting them the day before I think they were set to be released anyways, so big shout out to my local store. This collection does have, I believe, 5 or 6 fragrances total. There's an ice cream one that I really want to try. My location did not have that one. So if you're interested in these candles, just like a side note, there are a few other fragrances that were part of this darling collection. Diving into the review of Berry Waffle Cone, this year's version, the spring 2021 version. Graphics really cute. This is something, and even if we look at the Summer Boardwalk, cute graphics, very different. Cute, modern, kind of simplistic, but still very cute. I like it. I like the style. Something, I don't know if we've seen something like this from Bath & Body Works, so I really like the packaging on this year's collection. As far as Berry Waffle Cone itself, I actually have one burning right behind this one as a test. So I actually have burned Berry Waffle Cone, and this is a second burn, so I actually burned it the other evening as well just to test it out. And it's good if you guys are interested and you're, you know, on the fence, because I know sometimes Berry Waffle Cone can be a little bit lighter than we all would love. A lot of times, at least for me personally, I wished it was stronger. This year's version seems to be a little bit stronger than seasons past. Not saying it's the strongest. I still think Blueberry Pie is stronger. But for all intents and purposes, if you want a good, yummy, gourmand, kind of berry cone, raspberry pie type scent, this is it, and it will throw and you will notice it. The notes for Berry Waffle Cone include sweet summer berries, golden waffle cone, and creamy vanilla. So not all of you have maybe even burned Berry Waffle Cone. Maybe this is your first time hearing about it, your first season burning it. If you are a bakery fan, if you love yummy kind of gourmand type scents, try this one. It's really good. Fun fact, I actually worked for Bath & Body Works the year this candle came out. Purple deco ridged glass collection. I still have one of those old containers. And when it came out, I fell in love with it. I knew it would be a hit. Going back in time, I wish I would have grabbed a few more of those, but I loved it immediately when it came out, and I'm so glad Bath & Body Works has brought it back. They're finally catching on to how much we love it. So this season it did come out in the soap, in wallflowers, you know, the whole shebang. So hopefully they'll come out with it. I'm still keeping my fingers crossed for like a room spray. That would be nice. Maybe a car freshener, who knows? But I'm just glad that this year's version, candle-wise, performs really well. Overall performance and throw, when I have this going in an open room. I actually also had it in a smaller room earlier just to test it out. Regardless of where I had it though, it threw. In an open room, 1 to 10, 10 of course being the strongest, I'd say this is coming in, it's like a solid 8. Maybe even an 8.5. It's noticeable, it's there, it's lingering. It just smells like a yummy raspberry pie. I know a lot of you get more of like the waffle cone note out of it. To me, I don't really get too much of a waffle cone, you guys. All I'm smelling is just that beautiful, almost like a berry crumble. I almost feel like, to me personally, this candle would be a little more suited being called berry crumble. If you haven't tried it, just get it. And if you are on the fence with this year's version, I'm happy to say, at least so far, seems to be throwing really well, and no issues with the wicks. I did trim the wicks, of course. I trimmed the wicks in between. Seems to be burning. It's not a crazy super hot and fast burner. I'd say it's a standard moderate burner, but I would still keep an eye on it and definitely would not let it burn for more than 4.5 hours. Moving right along, jumping into one of my all-time favorites. All-time favorite candles ever. Summer Boardwalk comes back year after year. We're getting it in wallflowers this season, which is fantastic. Fun fact, Summer Boardwalk, the first candle I ever burned of Summer Boardwalk was when I was working at Bath & Body Works. There was someone had returned one and it was unburned, and it was in this old school packaging. I don't know how we even wound up getting that candle. It was like 75% off. I remember opening it, smelling it, and going, oh my God, this is such a unique fragrance. So I wound up buying it. But that's when I first got introduced to Summer Boardwalk many years ago, and I've loved it ever since. This year's version, you guys, I'm super happy with the performance. It's strong. All right, as I was saying, my camera cut out for half a second there. So as I had this candle going, when I was going in and out of the house, as I was even coming up to the porch and like coming in the front door, I could smell it. I could just smell this amazing, amazing fragrance. So I'm assuming most of you have burned Summer Boardwalk, but for those of you who have not, let me read you the notes because we have them right here. Notes include caramel glazed popcorn, warm taffy apples, and salty sweet cream. And I have to say, this candle, all three of those scent notes are pretty noticeable, pretty proportionate. What I like about Summer Boardwalk is, well, I do like a caramel apple fragrance. I don't want like 100% just caramel apple. The caramel apple in this is subtle, or at least evenly balanced, evenly blended. I love the cream, like the sweet cream note in Summer Boardwalk. I think that's why I love it so much. You get this beautiful kind of heavy sweet cream, really, really delicious. And then you do get a little bit of like a salty kind of popcorn action going. I'm not a huge fan of like straight just butter popcorn, caramel popcorn type scents. That can be a bit much for me. I feel like all three of these together balance really beautifully. I didn't have any performance issues with the candle itself either. Again, the wicks, I did have to trim them a little bit. I'm trying to trim them in between each burn anyway, but no crazy issues with the wicks either. Started throwing almost immediately. Within the first few minutes, I was already catching wafts of it. This year's version, strength-wise, in a standard size room, 1 to 10, 10 of course being the strongest, it's like a 9, maybe 9.5. It's quite strong, and I'm happy that this year's version is throwing. It's noticeable. Would I purchase either of these again? So to wrap up both of these candles, yes, of course I would be purchasing these again. I don't know if I'm gonna need to get any more this season. Like I said, I purchased 6 of them total. I'll probably use 4 of them total this season. I'm gonna keep one of each kind of in my backup collection. I do plan to get the coordinating wallflowers of both Berry Waffle Cone and Summer Boardwalk. I'll do Instagram follow-ups on those if any of you are curious. I may wind up purchasing that ice cream cone candle. Do not know if I will get around to doing a review in a timely manner. If you want my thoughts or feedback on any candles, check me out on Instagram. That's where you're going to get the quickest updates on products. Don't know if the summer is going to be the time for me to be doing and cranking out reviews, but I will definitely try to catch some of the fragrances as they start coming out a little more heavily as we get closer to the fall season. That's it for me today. As always, thank you for taking the time out of your day to sit and watch this review. Hope you're having an awesome day, an awesome evening, weekend, whatever time it is you're watching this video. Until next time, we'll see you later.